Hello everyone, I'm VortexTCG and today we've got a brand new gameplay video showcasing two EX4 archetypes in Ravemon, and my opponent will be playing the Omnimon. And if you're looking forward to this matchup, please do like and subscribe. It does mean a lot to the channel. We're almost at 1,100 subscribers, which is huge. And yeah, let's get into this gameplay video. So I get to start off here by going into the Analog Youth and the Falco. My opponent goes into the Nokia, playing out the Agumon here. I passed the turn by going into the Keenan because I think in this situation I did not have the Falcomon in my hand. Oh no, the Peckmon. Peckmon wasn't in my hand. Falcomon's the level 3. So I just had to hard play it here so I can get some advantage going on the next turn. So I think here we're just discussing something about the choice here, but he decides to just play another Matt and tie. I then go into a Devi and then go into a Chromon to pass the turn. So got a pretty good setup here, essentially going to get me around like 4 memory here. So I think it's 4 memory, right? So you go Devi, then the Egg, then the Keenan, and then yeah, so it'd be 4 memory. He swims with the Greymon, it doesn't die to the Sukaimon in security. He then plays Black Memory Boost, searching quite a lot of cards here, but unfortunately not be able to get the Omnimon here. And it passes the turn to 3 for me. So I promote the Chromon here. I swing, use its effect to go into a Ravemon for its cost. And then I got jamming, and then yeah, so should be all good in security, doesn't hit anything, and then I get to activate its effects. So at this point this is my second gameplay in the deck in person, so I'm just quickly confirming the rules for, well, not the rules, but the cards for myself. So here I'm gaining memory, I'm trashing a card from my opponent's hand, I'm deleting the Greymon from the Chromon effect, tapping the Keenan and the Analog Youth to gain additional memory and hatch an egg, and also add the security to the hand, and then the effect allows me to delete and then get to play at the end of the opponent's turn. So got a pretty good got quite a lot of advantage there. I was able to essentially go into the Ravemon for free and even gain 1 memory from that effect, so pretty good for me. And I passed my opponent to 1, going back into the stack, ending on the Chromon. So this is what this deck is really good at. Like, if you have this advantage going on, it feels really good. So I untap and draw. I'm bringing out the Ravemon again. It's one of the things you have to remind yourself, quite frankly, with this deck. Like, you have to remind yourself to play the Ravemon back out. So so I got a pretty decent board here. Swing with the Ravemon. The end of the attack doesn't trigger, I don't think, because it needs to have something with the Digievolution sources, so feeling pretty good about that at least. I go into the purple memory boost here, getting the Falcomon. From that, the Alt Art Falco, which looks amazing if I'm being perfectly honest. I'll showcase it in a deck profile coming soon. And so here, I'm just going to play another Falcomon here just to get some searches, and I see the Shine Grey Ruin mode here, but I just end up adding the Falcomon here for another level 3. So I pass the turn. I'm just reading here about the effect, but I don't think I can. So he pops the memory boost and then hard plays a Greymon. And I think at this point, you know, unfortunately there isn't much that you can do, I don't think. So, you know, it's always unfortunate when that happens, obviously. But I think he's able to play at least 1 from the trash, maybe. So goes into the Wergaruru, able to play out the Agu, tapping both to gain additional 2 memory. I'm just reading here just because I'm a little bit confused, because this is my first time actually playing against the Omnimon deck here. And so he's just able to play an Agu or a Gabu. So he plays out the Agu, I believe this is. Reveal top 3. Gets to do some searching. I think at this point he goes for the Blitzgrey and adds the other one as well. Using the Wergaruru effect to go into the Greymon here. again, we're both like it's like first time actually playing the decks, so we're a little bit rusty here for sure. And so we're just making sure, like with effects here, that we're all good. So, because again, we're just a little bit confused. So he did Digivolves. Oh wait, no, it doesn't Digivolve, I don't think. Unsure what happened there, but he decides to go for the other effect to Digivolve into another guy, which is perfectly fine. And then he's not able to Digivolve again, essentially. So, pass the turn, and I hatch my Pinamon, go into the Falcomon that I searched, and I think at this point we should be pretty much good. So, we go play, I believe this is the option card that I end up playing, which allows me to delete the Falco, to delete the Blitzgray. And then the Ravemon effect allows me to add the top security to my opponent's hand because he doesn't have 8 or more cards in his hand. And then I should be able to trigger, yep, so I go for the Keenan as it was just deleted by an effect to gain a memory and draw a card. I then go for, I'm thinking about the purple memory boost here, which might end up being pretty valuable at this point. So I just end up swinging here though with the Chromon, and swing goes through. He gets me to draw some cards, and yeah, from the Gabumon, gain a memory. And so yeah, getting some advantage here. I'm surprised, well, I guess my opponent didn't want to block here just because he needs to get some sort of advantage going with his Ravemon on the field. So, is what it is. I think I should have been able to tap the Analog Youth there to also gain a memory as it was level 5, so maybe I could have done a little bit more on my turn, but here's what it is. So my opponent goes into the Gabu in raising, and at this point it's just kind of like, is my opponent able to essentially stop the following turn? And obviously he's got to do quite a lot to do that, and I don't think that's going to be quite possible, so he goes into the Gabu, do some searching. I think that's the Garuru, no, it's the Greymon there, and he's able to get the Omnimon. I decided to not pick him up even. Just goes to the Omnimon. He then, I believe, goes into the Greymon here, which allows him to go into the Crescaruru for 1. And then Crescaruru's effect allows him to Digivolve on top of the Metal, goes into Metal Greymon for 3, using the effect to gain some memory. He then goes into the Blitzgray for 3, and then he gets to use his effect to DNA Digivolve, going into the Omnimon Alter S, which he does. And then effects allows him to delete this, delete the Falcomon, and then he passes the turn to 3. So I play out the Ravemon here, draw, and it's only got blocker, so essentially all I have to do is swing twice. So swing with the Ravemon and then swing for game. We then get into game 2, and my opponent gets to start off, goes into the Agumon and passes to 1. This is one of the things that I find quite annoying about Omnimon, the fact that you play this Agumon to essentially choke your opponent to 1, which is it's kind of crazy if I'm being perfectly honest. So I just end up playing the Falcomon, getting some search going for the following turn. He then plays the Tamer, which is fine by me. I end up going into the Kinkakumon, swinging with the Falco, it dies, which isn't really surprising at all. And then I believe here I just end up playing the Analog Youth, revealing the top 3, and unfortunately I do just have to add the Chromon here. And discarding the Keenan's not nice in this situation, because I would definitely love to keep the Keenan in my hand. And so my opponent's just like showing off his hand because he's just like, yep, this is a great deck, quite frankly. So yeah, you know, this is one of the things that I don't like about Omnimon that much. You know, sometimes you just brick like this and you just can't really do that much about it. So He goes into the Garurumon here for 2. Can't use his effect because there isn't one on the field, unfortunately. So he goes into the Metal Grey to pass to 3. So he's like, oh, can I play this one out? And I'm like, nope, you cannot. Do not do that. That would be too good. Could you imagine if I actually did that? That'd be quite crazy. Anyways, so I'm just thinking if I want to promote here because I'm in a really awkward situation because essentially what's happening here is that, I mean, I can't use the Chromon effect, otherwise I would do really well here, unfortunately. But yeah, if I was able to have the purple Tamer out, the Keenan, swing with the Chromon, and then go into the Ravemon, I'd have been able to answer his board and probably have won the game on the spot at that point. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. My opponent goes into the Blitz Grey. Unfortunately, isn't able to do anything with the Blitz Grey because, well, there isn't anything else. So he just plays the Tamer and then cuts me to 4. Now, I'm in a bit of a predicament here because this card has blocker, I believe. So it's a bit awkward to essentially remove this Blitz Grey because if I was to swing, I won't get the end of attack effect. I will obviously get the on deletion effect, but as it's deleted by battle, I won't be able to do that much. So I play the option card here to delete the Ravemon, to delete the Blitz Grey, add the security to his hand, use off a bunch of other effects, getting some memory. And I think it was like 2 memory there, and so I'm able to play the Ravemon at the end of my opponent's turn, so feeling pretty good about that. You know, I was happy that I was actually able to get the option card in this situation. I then go into the Devi Dramon and then play a Falcomon to pass the turn. Here I cannot get anything because Falcomon restrictions aren't very good. He then just ends up playing the Greymon to pass the turn. Effect will allow me to play the Ravemon back, and I'll promote the Devi Dramon. And so this is where it gets a little bit nasty, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'll swing at security with the jamming, where it trigger its effect here. So now I'll swing with the other the Falco here, not the other, there's only one Falco, and then go into Shine Grey Ruin mode, doing minus 5k to everything on his board, and if he was to play anything, he essentially cannot do anything. So he draws, he can't really do that much, he pops a memory boost, plays an Alter B for fun, and then yeah, so at this point I've got the game. Swing, I have to use his effects obviously because it's mandatory, but yeah, I have game here, and so I win the match.